Hi YouTube, and welcome to my corner of the internet if you're new here, and hi again if you are a regular. Today I will be reviewing The Dark Knight, which has been described as the blueprint for all superhero films. It certainly is popular, and millennials and Gen Z especially rating it as their favourite Batman film. That said, Burton's version of Batman certainly is very popular, although visually very different. The Nolan Batman trilogy is modern and gritty, almost dystopian. Burton's envisioning of the same caped vigilante is sleek, stylish, and Art Deco inspired. And if I want to be pedantic, Michael Keaton actually was responsible for how we see Batman now. He decided to have a deeper voice when he wore the Batsuit. The brooding nature of Bruce Wayne was his idea, and he chose to do most of the acting with his eyes when he was in The Unforgiving Mask. And let's not forget the improvised "Let's get nuts" line, which is so famous, and that convinced Burton that he was his version of Batman. The rigid nature of Keaton's movements as Batman was how the actor thought Wayne would be. Conversely, Nolan's Batman's films are the antithesis of the campy Schumacher films, George Clooney being an appalling casting. I don't actually know anybody who likes George Clooney as Batman. If you do, please comment below. The Dark Knight is the most popular of the trilogy, and possibly fits the mood of the era it was made. I feel like there's a lot of gritty films of that time period and today. It's likely that The Dark Knight was the first Batman film certain generations were exposed to, and that of course can influence preferences. I feel we must address Heath Ledger's appeal in this film, and it really was arguably his best performance. He was not considered a popular choice to play the dishevelled psychopath, but Nolan liked that they agreed on the visual influences of Francis Bacon's paintings and A Clockwork Orange, a film I actually loathe. It amused me when I read about the Francis Bacon connection, actually, as a portrait admired by the Joker of Burton's Batman was featured in the art gallery scene. Heath Ledger is what made this film. His voice, his stance, his countenance, his personality. When he speaks, it is with such an intense croak, similar to that of Tom Waits, if you are familiar with him. The infamous scene in which he faces the mafia to discuss how to kill Batman provides the viewer with a portrait of what the anarchic villain is like. He doesn't care if he lives or dies, lining his suit with enough weaponry to destroy a building. Gotham City is mafia run, and the Joker has as much to gain from Batman's demise as they do. Christian Bale plays Batman in Nolan's trilogy, and I'm not particularly keen on his portrayal of Bruce Wayne or his winged counterpart. I know this is a very unpopular opinion, but he sounds like a wrestler. And when I watched it again, I watched this some years previously and I watched it again and I was like, yep, he sounds like a wrestler. I feel like he's similar to the American Psycho character when he portrays the billionaire Bruce. Bruce Wayne wants to retire from his role as protector of Gotham. He publicly supports Harvey Dent, the district attorney, so that he can become the next governor to prevent the mafia from infiltrating the city's infrastructure anymore. The Joker interjects a meeting with the mafia and their dodgy accountant in that aforementioned scene and proposes that he will kill Batman for a price. The scene is visceral and one of the most famous in the film. It's actually my favourite scene in the film. Batman manages to apprehend the accountant in Hong Kong, and this means a trial is able to ensue, although the Joker, after the mafia agree to work with him, kills those who are key to prosecuting the mafia in the trial. The Joker insists he will prevail in his terrorism, which is essentially what these acts are. Chaos, acts of chaos. He wants to know who Batman is, and as a method of trying to lure the Joker, Harvey Dent pretends he is the Dark Knight. This then leads to an interrogation with the Joker and Batman, an intense, heated scene, again demonstrating how psychopathic the Joker is, who has got Harvey Dent in one location and his girlfriend Rachel, whom Batman loves, in another location. He has to decide who to save, and for Batman it's the latter, but Rachel is in the location Dent is and vice versa. That's a very famous scene. I think it's, again, probably the most famous scene. Dent's character origin is part of this film, as it sets him up as Two-Face, as he is burned very badly in a fire from Joker's explosives. Rachel is killed, and this further adds to Bruce Wayne's hatred of the Joker. The villainous clown detonates a hospital, and that's pretty much as shitty as you can get, really, and then tries to appease Dent and then get him on his side. The Joker successfully corrupts him, allowing him to become the nefarious nemesis of Batman. I will leave the story here as I don't do spoilers and it's a long film. I think this film needs Ledger for it to work, and actually, very sadly, his untimely demise did add to the success of it. Effectively, that's what people know him for, I think, for many generations. The supporting cast is good. We need to talk about the Batsuit. I hate the Batsuit. It looks like it was purchased from Wish. As I said, I am not keen on Christian Bale's Batman. I'm not keen on him as an actor. His pitch is like Randy Savage. Apart from this, it's a good solid film. A great watch on like a Sunday afternoon or something. But I much prefer Keaton as Batman and Burton style. I did reviews of those Batman films, which I will link below. Or for more of Randy Savage content, oh yeah! I reviewed Spider-Man, which he has a cameo in. Which Batman is your favourite and why? Do you think Heath Ledger added a lot to it? Or do you like the trilogy irrespective of him? If you enjoyed this review, please give it a like and subscribe. Here's my card.